Welcome everybody back to the channel. I'm Brian Daniels, and I wanted to go over the recent Ringside Report 4 from WWE 2K23. I know a lot of people have been kind of confused about what these advanced gameplay sliders mean, what they do. And I wanted to show you what one of them does specifically, because it's kind of a game changer, really. If you want to make your matches feel a little bit more realistic. And then a lot of these, I know some people don't quite know the difference between player and AI, what that specifically means. And I'm going to go down the line here and show you what these mean and how they can influence your matches from here on out, and how you can kind of tailor make these settings based off of your gameplay. But before I do that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and watching all of our videos here on the domain. If you like these kind of videos, video game videos, reviews, accessories, unboxings, and convention videos, things like that, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and let me know in the comment section below what you think about these advanced gameplay settings, these sliders, if you will, and let me know your thoughts on the game. And Joe, don't forget, be sure to also watch my review, if you haven't yet, of WWE 2K23. You can catch that right here on the domain. Anyway, so let's get into this first option. This is the first count lock. Now, this is all off by default. So I have everything set to default settings, so you guys can see here. This is off. This is the normal mini game that you're used to. This is the normal mini game you're used to seeing, and you'll see right here. This is just how you normally have this going. You can see me here with LA Knight. This is normal. This is what you're used to. You're used to the little thing that moving back and forth. That's the flag, by the way. If you're wondering what the flag is, it's that little thing that moves back and forth where you have to flick the right stick up to get a kick out, and the little red part is the zone. So you know, that's normal. If you turn this on, what that's going to do is anytime there's a finisher done on you, because you're the one having to kick out and use this mini game, the referee is going to count to 1, and you'll see that here in another match. Sami Zayn's going to get his hell of a kick on me, and when he goes for the pin, you notice right away how it doesn't move when there's a 1 count. So the ref's going to count to 1, and then after 1, it unlocks the mini game, and then you have until the count of 3 to kick out. So for those of you who maybe want to make things a little bit more realistic and make your matches a little bit more realistic with the AI, and you don't want to be able to have the opportunity to kick out right away after a finisher, for certain reasons, you can actually turn this on, and it's going to do that immediately after a finisher. And this will always happen immediately after a finisher, not a signature. A finisher, when a finisher is done to you. So, or if you're playing other people at home and you're playing the game together, you guys can turn this on, and you can play your friends this way, locally, I believe. I don't know if this is. I don't think this works for online. So I wanted to cover that just so you guys know exactly what that's for, because there was some people that were pretty confused as to what that means. Now let's get to the rest of these sliders. So I want to let you guys know that what they mean by player is this is how it's going to influence you, the person playing. So recent finisher influence. This is the first one. This adjusts the amount that a finisher hit within the last few seconds is how much it's going to make the pin be difficult for you trying to kick out. The higher the number, the harder it makes it for you to kick out. So I'm assuming that's going to make it go faster as opposed to slower. The lower this number is, the easier it's going to factor in onto the pin's difficulty for you, the player, trying to kick out with AI. This next one is previous finisher. And by the way, this first one is a finisher hit within the last few seconds. So if the AI hits a finisher and they immediately go for a pin, this is what that meter influences. Okay. Previous finisher is the same thing, but it has to be a finisher hit. It adjusts the amount that the finisher hit later than the last few seconds. I don't know exactly how much later, but I'm assuming like if the AI hits a finisher on you or another player hits a finisher on you, and they wait a while, like say they taunt, and then they go for a pin, I'm assuming that's what that is. But this one is immediately. This one is the previous one. Hit later then. So if you get hit by say a rock bottom and the AI waits later, that one's gonna hit. This affects you. And then of course it's more, if it goes more to the right, the higher the number, the more that their previous finisher influences your pin. The lower this means it's gonna not affect your pin difficulty as much. Previous finisher influence 3+. This is the same as this one, but it specifically is used for the third finisher and beyond. So say you get hit by a third rock bottom. That's where this kicks in. So if you get hit with more than 3 and you really want to affect you as a player and make it harder for you to get to kick out of a pin, you know, for like more realistic matches, like, you know, say you get hit by 3 rock bottoms and you want to make it harder for you and make it maybe more realistic to kick out, you can turn this up to whatever number, and that's how much harder it is going to be for you, the player, to kick out of that, okay? Reset signature influence. Now it's the same thing that we mentioned before, but for signatures. So this is the one that was hit within the last few seconds, right? So and it's the same. You can make that signature, if they pin you after a signature, you can make it harder to kick out or easier to kick out. You kind of want to think of it as this is harder to kick out and this is easier to kick out. If you just think of it as that, then that's it. Previous signature influence is the same as finisher. This is going to affect the a signature hit within the last few seconds. I'm sorry, later than the last few seconds, rather, is this one. Okay, so later than. Once again, a harder kick out or an easier kick out of a pin. Previous signature influence 3+. This is the same as this one, except for this is after the third. This is at the used for the third signature and beyond. So if somebody hits you with their third signature and beyond, this makes it either harder to kick out for you as the player or easier for you to kick out as the player. All right. Let's go to these next ones. Post kick out damage recovery. This adjusts the impact of lasting body damage while recovering after a kick out. This does not affect your recovery time. So if you want to make the impact of lasting body damage while recovering after kick out worse, or make it more of an impact, you turn that up. You want to make it less of an impact, you turn it down. Now, these are all the same as the ones we just went through, but this is how it affects the AI. So when you do the things to the AI, you can make it harder for the AI to kick out if you go to the right, or easier for the AI to kick out. I hope that's easier to understand. Once again, harder for the AI to kick out if you go to the right for these previous finisher, for these influences on signature and finishers. Harder to kick out to the right, easier to kick out to the left. Okay. Same thing goes for post kick out damage recovery. Is that. Okay. Now, let us go to the timing pin minigame. Okay. This is going to determine how easy or hard the timing is of the flag, which is that little line that goes back and forth. That's called the flag. And the zone size, which is the red bar that moves back and forth that you have to time. So easy, okay, adjust the speed of the indicator for pin attempts that are unlikely to end the match. So like if you do a roll up on someone, okay, do you want to make it easier? Okay. or harder? Or I'm guessing, no, wait, I'm sorry, faster or slower? So say, for instance, a roll-up. You don't want roll-ups to be easy to, you want roll-ups to be harder to kick out of, then you make that all the way up. That makes that flag faster. If you don't think roll-ups should be hard to, kick out of, you think they should be easy, you can turn it all the way down and it'll make that thing go really, really slow. For moderate, this adjusts the speed of the indicator flag when the pin is challenging, but favors the defender kicking out. So this is going to make it to where the pin goes either faster or slower. So think of this as the little line going back and forth you have to time. Faster or slower. Okay, so if you want things to be a little bit harder after you hit, like, say, a signature, you can crank that up a little bit. For difficult pin indicators, this adjusts the speed of the indicator when the pin attempt could potentially end the match. This has to be like for finishers, I would assume. So if you hit a finisher on your opponent, and you want that pin to move, that little line to move really fast, you can crank that up and, make it really difficult. Or you can, say, hey, it should be a little bit, this should be not as difficult, but this should definitely be as difficult because it's a finisher. You can crank that up. Think, once again, right is faster, left is slower for the indicator speed. Okay? Now, the zone. That's that red thing in the middle. Okay? This adjusts the size of the kick-out zone for pin attempts in situations that are unlikely to end the match. So this is how big the red bar is. So if you think a roll-up should have a huge red bar and make it very easy for you to time it, then you can lower that all the way down. Moderate is for things that are, where, it's challenging, but it favors the defender. So if you think, like, hitting a signature should be not on like, you shouldn't just win the match off a signature, you can make that red bar bigger, kind of, kick it up a little bit, make it like here. If you want that zone size to be, or I'm sorry, you would make it down, you would go down, right? So this is to make the bar smaller. So you would want to make it big for an easy kick out, I would think. This is to make it a little bit smaller, but not too terribly smaller, so you could go here. And then this is for your finisher, basically. And if you want that bar to be pretty small, you can go down here for a finisher. That's kind of how you look at it. Roll-ups, signatures, finishers, the size of the red bar. The speed of the red bar, same thing, right? Speed of the red bar. So if it's an easy pin, slower, I would think. A moderate pin, slower but not too slow. For a finisher, you want that thing to go fast. So for speed, higher the number, the faster. For the zone size, the higher the number, the bigger the zone. Lower the number, the smaller the zone. It's really that simple. Speed, more to the right, the faster. More to the left, slower. And that's that. And then you got the submission minigame. Let's go into the submission minigame. Attacker cancel threshold. When on, player attackers have a window of opportunity to cancel the submission minigame before the opponent can escape. When off, the submission can be canceled by the attacker at any point. So basically what this means is that when this is on, you, as the attacker, the player, you have a window of opportunity, a small window of opportunity to cancel the submission. So it's off by default. So usually when you put your opponent in a submission, right? You have the ability to hit, I think it's L1 on the PlayStation and and left trigger on the Xbox. You can hit that anytime to cancel when it's off. If it's on, you only have a small window of opportunity to cancel it before you have to do the submission minigame, before you're locked into it. That's what that means. Okay, this is off by default, by the way. Attacker button press strength. All right. These just basically make the button press strength of the player, you the player, either stronger or not so strong, right? Wrong button press penalty, more of a penalty, less of a penalty. Defender, okay, button press strength, better or worse? Means how much the, how much the tapping does, okay? Or if you hold it down. Defender wrong press penalty, once again, higher of a penalty, less of a penalty. Attacker button press strength, more or less. I think you kind of get the idea with that. So I hope this helps you guys understand these advanced gameplay sliders. I wanted to make this video because I know a lot of people out there kind of didn't really know what these meant, and I know 2K put a put this ringside report out to try to let you guys know what's going on with that. And I wanted to help you guys figure this out because there's a lot of people like on Reddit, on the WWE 2K games Reddit that didn't quite know what was going on with these, and I wanted to help you guys figure that out. And I hope that eventually, we'll see the ability to download. I don't know if we can yet. Can we download? Let me look real quick. Yeah, we can't download sliders yet. So I hope at some point 2K gives us the ability to download sliders. Like, you can do this in Madden. You can do this in 2K. Have custom sliders, sets, presets, so that, for instance, if you want a harder time doing this, this, and this, you can. So anyway, I hope this helped you guys out. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions. I always read the comments. I try to answer the comments as much as I can. But thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys.